Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to your reading for the week of October 17th. We're just going to jump right in here, Virgo, and we're going to look at your general energies in the entire spread here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to clarify with the after tarot and see what is going on kind of like in the near future here with this spread. And that's going to be that. This deck, by the way, people keep asking about this deck right here. This is a Coffee Cup Oracle by Amira. And so that's that. If you're looking for that deck, it's awesome. Love it. But let's see here. It's interesting that a lot of people have had like these warning cards this week. So I don't know what's going on this week, but something could be, there could be some sort of like global tower moment, like I've been saying for a couple of weeks. Tower keeps coming up. Almost everyone except for you has had the tower this week, so wouldn't really surprise me, but we're gonna look into it. You start off with this purity card. This is a card of like pure intentions. I actually don't think it's that bad of a week for you here, Virgo, is what I would say to you. I don't like that warning card for whatever reason, but again, we're going to look into that in just a minute. But what I would say here is I feel like this purity card isn't really talking about purity. I feel like it's more talking about just kind of like, moving through the week, doing what works. I feel that will be kind of like your best approach to this week. And I feel if you don't try your best to not like mentally overcomplicate things and you just do what works in work, in business, in love, like follow all the typical rules, I feel you're just going to be, having like a nice flow to the week. So I don't actually hate this. You have the King of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, and the Temperance card. I kind of feel this is asking you not to rush, again, for some reason. I don't really see any cards here that would represent rushing, but for whatever reason, I kind of feel, and I don't even know that rush is the right word. I kind of get this feeling of needing to allow things to play out and needing to not like open your mouth, right? It's like sometimes I think it's better to, maybe you're trying to make a decision, you're not sure what to do in a decision. I have like a million things popping into my head here, Virgo, and I feel like you just need to kind of like, this would be a good week to just allow things to develop. I really don't know how to verbalize it, but I would just say don't rush into things. I feel like you need to be like the King of Swords. You can see he's just like sitting there. He's kind of like waiting for information. He's the king that has like the most knowledge and wisdom out of all the kings. So I feel in a lot of ways, I almost get like judgment vibes here, like judgment mixed with justice is kind of popping into my head with this card. And what I mean by that is like, I feel like you're going to be calling judgment on things this week, but I also feel that you're kind of like taking information in, like justice. You're weighing, options, just like the Justice card. And that's kind of like the energy that I get here. It's like this first row is very slow, methodical, taking your time, not rushing, right? And this could be in any area of your life. I really get the patience thing on this card here, of course, the Temperance card, which is about patience, but I kind of feel like something needs more information. If you're trying to make a decision to get a new job, I feel this is saying, like, don't just rush right into something. There could be, I don't want to say the grass is greener, but there could just be another opportunity that would be much better. So I kind of feel like rushing or jumping to conclusions this week would be a bad idea. I would wait for information to come in. Same thing with the Four of Pentacles as well. Four of Pentacles is a card of holding on too tightly to the past. He's also considered the miser. And sometimes, I feel if we're having money problems and the Four of Pentacles shows up, it can just say that we need to create more flow. It's like when you don't have money, what do people do? They don't spend money, right? And so the problem with that is that when you're not spending money, you're not keeping the flow going, right? And so because you're too fearful to release the money, that causes more problems. I always tell people, hey, guess what? You don't have to spend money, right? To get the flow going. There are a million things we can do to get that flow going. So if you have money problems or if you're worried about money, doing something nice for another person, of course, is a great way to get that flow going. Creating something is another way to get that flow going as well. It's like, there might be some advice you have. Maybe you could put it on TikTok. Maybe you could put it on Instagram. Maybe you could put it on YouTube, right? And that is a great way to get the flow going because you're putting something out that could help another person. You're getting the flow going. So it's, to me, when we're having money problems, even when I've had money problems in my life, like I always do something either for other people or that involves other people or that helps another person, or I create something. Again, those are great, all great ways to do it. So again, you don't have to necessarily spend money to get that flow going. Although again, if you're noticing a pinch, another great thing would be to like donate money. It's like, why do you think that's such like a big thing in the religions? Is because it's not so much about the donations, about getting that flow moving forward, right? With the King of Swords, you have the Six of Pentacles here. It's like, what do you give your energy to? You're making a very important decision this week, Virgo. This whole entire reading, and it's funny I said justice because he's normally holding on to the scales that the justice card is. And it's funny that I also said giving to other people. Look what he's doing, being generous. If you are pinched off in any way, I'm telling you right now that opening the flow is going to be very beneficial for you. Again, another thing is walking. I always tell people, it's like I was stuck for like 3 years of my life, and I'm convinced that I started walking. I wouldn't allow myself to do anything for those 3.5 years or so. And then I started walking, and once I started moving forward, I'm convinced it changed my life, right? And I'm not telling anyone what to do, but it seemed to work. So, I think moving forward, getting the flow going, major theme for you here, but you're making an important decision. With the Four of Pentacles, you have the Five of Wands. No, this is actually the Seven of Wands, sorry. This is the after tarot. So again, this is the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is about defending your position at the top of a hill. I would ask you, like, is something worth defending, right? You have that Four of Pentacles. He's holding on very tightly to something, but would releasing something and not defending it any longer be a better option? I actually don't know the answer for you, Cancer. Virgo, sorry. This could be involving a Cancer, and so you have a water sign showing up here. But again, sometimes I think we hold on to things that really are nothing, or we hold on to things that prevent our flow in life. And, I'd be looking at that here. With the Temperance card, you have the Wheel of Fortune. Love it. Changing your fortunes. Really, the wheel is always spinning with the Wheel of Fortune, but we control the spin with our vibrations. We control the spin with how we feel, our energies. So I feel like taking control of the wheel is going to be very important for you. But again, major decision this week for you, Virgo. Hopefully we get more information on it. Next, you have this warning card. There, again, pretty much every single sign this week has had something about a warning. So definitely collective energy, I would say here, Virgo, where there could be something going on in the world or something that is like a warning. I would pay attention to the warning signs as well. See, you have a lot of wisdom showing up here in your reading. You have the King of Cups, the King of Swords over here. You also have the Hermit right here. It kind of says you've been through a lot over the last few years. So if something comes in all areas of your life, so if something comes in a relationship, for example, that looks like a warning sign, it probably is. Trust your wisdom is what this reading is saying to me. If something comes in work or finances, or if you know with this Wheel of Fortune, it's like maybe you notice or have noticed financial cycles in the past. Pay attention to that. Probably a warning sign. This could be a positive warning as well. Again, and what the hell does that mean? It's like, well, maybe you've noticed that like every single November, you double your income for some reason. Who knows why? Take advantage of it. Quadruple your income, right? It's like, I've noticed myself that personally, like some days I like want to do more work. So guess what I do on those days? I like do triple the amount of work that I normally would because I'm motivated to do it, and it always pays off big time. And so it's like, are there things that you notice? And that's what I mean by like a positive warning. Are there signs that happen where you maybe feel like you want to do extra work, or maybe you feel more social, which could put you in an opportunity to go find love or whatever? But I would just pay attention to those things. You have the Hermit, the Ten of Wands, and the Two of Swords. Again, I feel this is saying don't doubt yourself with the Two of Swords. She is sitting where she has always been. This card can represent being at a stalemate, but I really feel this reading is saying you have all the knowledge and wisdom you need to make a decision. And like I said, you're clearly making a major decision this week. You have the Hermit, which is you, showing up in a very strong position, but he's gone through the dark night of the soul, and now he's standing at the top of a mountain. His feet are actually frozen at the top of the mountain, but he could easily take his knowledge and wisdom, his inner light, and he could put that down by his feet, and he could set himself free and start moving forward. So, it's really a card about that says the answers, you just have to kind of move forward. The good news is I feel like you're about to release some burdens. The Ten of Wands can represent burdens or, carrying a heavy weight on your shoulders. But, I actually like the Ten of Wands because he's about to have a harvest. He's about to put those wands down at his home back here. So maybe you have experienced some challenges in the recent past, but I feel like you're about to be successful. That's the whole point of the Ten of Wands. He's about to have a harvest. He's about to find success. And that's what this looks like to me. Let's see. With that Hermit card, you have the Five of Wands. It's funny that I said on the Seven of Wands, Five of Wands, right? And then I corrected myself, of course. But the Five of Wands is a card of training and learning. I always say that the Five of Wands to me is not a card really of conflict and competition, even though it is. Those people, they're learning how to fight. Look, they're kind of like being trained on this card. So I feel for a lot of you, it's like you've been through a lot, but you've learned a lot through all the things that you've been through. And this is clearly leading to a change in direction. You have the Seven of Pentacles right here. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Two of Cups. Again, some of you could be attracting love. You have this King of Cups here. Could be a water sign. Could be any sign. Doesn't matter. But again, I feel you could be attracting a person who kind of wants to work on a team with you. Someone who wants to remove burdens, basically, from your life. Or, sometimes I think the Two of Cups also just says that we could be meeting like a partner, like a friend, or a business partner or something like that. So for a lot of you, doesn't matter what it is, I feel that this is saying, teamwork makes the dream work, as I've been saying all year. With the Two of Swords, you have the Nine of Wands. Again, look at this. I feel like there's someone coming in for you who really helps you with your burdens, It's not like they take your burdens on. I don't think that's a good thing either. Like, attracting a person who wants to accept your burdens isn't necessarily a good thing, right? But again, I feel like this person helps you in some way. So there definitely could be love that's coming in that kind of just lifts the weight off your shoulders, or the weight of the world off your shoulders. It could be a person who's just, makes things easier for whatever reason. I don't even know why. Like I said, there are several things I don't know the answer to in your reading here, Virgo. But again, I don't trust any reader that claims to know everything. We're not meant to know everything, plain and simple. But there you go. Next, you have this Lion card. Again, this is the Coffee Cup Oracle, if you're wondering what deck this is. It says strength and success on it. Again, strength card in the tarot kind of represents success after a long period of time of being strong, She has to, that lion on the strength card is normally submitting to her. I understand this is not the strength card, but just pop it into my head, right? It's like that lion is submitting to her. But it's kind of something that she's had to work on for a very long time. So I feel like you're earning some rewards here, and definitely success coming in for you. You have the Seven of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles, and the King of Cups. I feel that as a collective, pretty much everyone is choosing the Seven of Pentacles. He's kind of looking at those pentacles and saying, like, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is all the work that I've put into the things that I've been working on, is it worth it? Should I move forward, or should I move on to something else? So, again, I really feel you're weighing your options and you're making a very important decision, probably to move towards something new. You have the Five of Pentacles. I would be very careful of things that make you feel weak. These could be words that you use on yourself, could be people that you spend time with, could be experiences that you've had, could be anything. But Five of Pentacles very specifically says, do not call attention to your weaknesses. The way I read tarot is I like to focus on like what we can do with the crappy cards that come up, not the fact that they're crappy, right? Yes, it's a card of being left out in the cold, but how does that help you as the person that I'm reading for? It doesn't. So again, the solution to the Five of Pentacles is to not call attention to your weaknesses. It's to focus on your strengths. It's to focus on the things that you can do, because there are things you can do on the Five of Pentacles, right? There's Five Pentacles right there. All they have to do is go knock on the door of the church, and they will find sanctuary. The church on the Five of Pentacles represents a place of sanctuary, so they could easily come out of the cold, but they just have to do it. You have the King of Cups here as well. I feel like you could be attracting a water sign. Doesn't matter what gender either. They're just showing up as the King of Cups. I feel like it's someone with very deep emotions, someone who's very connected to their emotions as well. I feel like this person travels a lot. I feel like they're super busy intuitively as well. Is this a good thing? I think as long as you know up front that they're super busy, then I feel like you'll be fine. I feel like this person's busy for the right reasons, though, like they're successful or they're hardworking or, whatever the case may be. And I feel like they're also very present. It's like they're busy, but when they spend time with you, they're with you. They're not like off thinking about their business or whatever. So, definitely a very well-balanced person that's coming in for you. Again, doesn't matter what gender, but I do feel this is a person who's super busy for whatever reason. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Four of Cups. I feel like clearly based off the reading, you've been dealing with some disappointments, or you've experienced some disappointments. This Two of Wands kind of wanted to pop off there with this Four of Cups, so we'll take it. Two of Wands is a card of working together, or it's a card of progress, but look, these two people are working together is what I was saying. You have so many cards that represent working together. Look at this. Nine of Wands, this two people on this Nine of Wands, Two of Cups, Three of Pentacles, card of teamwork. So I'm telling you right now, I feel like finding, if you're looking for love, finding a person who legitimately wants to be on a team, who wants to, kind of work together as one is what's going to be most important for you here with these energies. I also feel some of you could be thinking about traveling with that Two of Wands, or you could be thinking about kind of like going somewhere new. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Hermit again. So I feel for a lot of you, you're clearly kind of shining your inner light. And again, I do feel like you need to unfreeze yourself. Five of Pentacles, being left out in the cold. You have the Hermit twice, which is great. It's you showing up in a very strong position as yourself. But again, his feet are frozen at the top of the mountain. With the Page of Cups, the King of Cups, you have the Moon. Could be a Cancer or Pisces coming in for you here. I really feel this Moon is saying, don't turn around. To me, on the Moon card, you should walk all the way to the mountains, and you've basically climbed to the top of the mountain. You have the Hermit twice. He has climbed to the top of the mountain. And so it's like, don't turn around and come back down the mountain. The Hermit, he just has to, again, shine his inner light to keep moving forward. He doesn't need to go all the way back down the Moon card, right? She is going back towards her emotions, basically, this pool of water here. And those could be negative emotions. There could be a lot of mysteries, like in your life in general. It's funny that this like dog, this is like a dog and wolf, dog and coyote. Some people read it as wolf or coyote, whatever, it doesn't matter. But the whole point is what it represents. The coyote or the wolf represents your animal instincts, your kind of like wild side, and the dog represents your domestic side. And so I always say that the Moon, to me, sometimes can represent needing to mix those two things together, or it can balance those two things out. It can say, do you have too much of a wild side or too much of a domestic side, and you're not out experiencing things in the wild? It could be literally, but it could be more figuratively as well. Maybe, do you need to grow teeth? Do you need to stick up for yourself in some way? Do you need to learn how to defend yourself? Do you need to learn how to become more aggressive, more bold, more assertive? Didn't you have the Queen of Wands here? I could be making that up in my head, but doesn't matter. I guess not. But anyway, doesn't matter. It's like, what do you need to do? And again, it's funny that I can't answer any of your questions here, Virgo, because you're all different. And I feel like you need to figure out what you need to do. In your last row here, you have this you have three cards. I didn't even realize that. You have this Revenge card, you have this Independence card, and you have this Enthusiasm card. It's funny that a lot of people have been getting the Revenge card. I would be careful of trying to get revenge, especially with Mars retrograde. I always tell people it's like there is no revenge with Mars retrograde, and I don't even think we should be thinking like that. But again, Mars retrograde will come back to bite you if you try to do something to get revenge on a person. Basically success is the best revenge right now. So I would just, if someone hurt you, broke your heart, or if you feel like someone deserves revenge, having your glow up is going to be what you should be doing. You have this Independence card. You always get cards of independence. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's perfectly acceptable to be working on being independent, but I mean, not toxically independent, right? We're talking about positive independence here, just being able to take care of yourself. I do feel like something is kind of entering into your life with this Enthusiasm card. Could also be a Sagittarius I'm getting coming in for you in love. But with that Enthusiasm card, I feel like something is exciting you, because look, this last row is like a complete 360 when we compare it to the other rows that we had before it. Not that they're necessarily bad, but this is much more positive. Three of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, the Fool. 10 of Cups is like fortune after difficulty. I kind of feel like, this important decision you're making this week is going to lead to your 10 of Cups, like ultimate happiness, or whatever, total fulfillment. 10 of Cups is like total fulfillment, total happiness. So a choice you're making is going to lead to fortune after difficulty, but you're going to have to take the leap of faith. You always get the Fool with me. You've been getting the Fool with me pretty much in every single reading for years that I've been doing these readings. So I feel for a lot of you, it is definitely time for you to take some sort of leap of faith. And you have the Three of Pentacles. If you don't know what to do, I feel there are people who want to help you create success in your life. I also feel like following a plan wouldn't be too bad of an idea. Like if you're trying to build a business, maybe there is a certain way the type of business that you are building goes or works. I would stick to the plan, right? I keep telling people it's a little bit of a tricky time right now, obviously, to be alive, because part of me feels like maybe 80% of the time we should just be doing what works. But I also feel like there's a danger of comparing yourself to other people and not doing something innovative enough, because we're entering into the age of Aquarius. So again, my solution personally to this conflicting energy that we are all existing in right now is 80% of the time do what works. If you're starting a business, maybe there's a certain way the business goes. Follow the rules. 20% of the time, try new things. I would say 20% of the time, innovate, try something different, try something new. And that's what I'd be doing here. Just look at this channel, right? It's like, I always tell people, it's like, I do as I say. I do not believe in do as I say, not as I do. I hate when people say that. It drives me crazy. But again, look at my channel. Look at all the experiments I run. Look at all the stuff I do. It's like, I literally live this, right? And it's a pain sometimes, right? Because not all, like, I would say a majority of my ideas don't work. But when I do discover things that do work, it works like really, really well. And I think that, again, that is the challenge to, being alive at this time is, as I just said to one of the other signs as well, you have the King of Wands needing to be bold, needing to be assertive. As I just said to another sign, really, I think that we're in this time where we have to move a lot of dirt to get to the gold. But the reason I encourage people to do this is because if you do it, you're going to have a lot of rewards waiting for you. You have the Two of Swords clarifying that Three of Pentacles. Two of Swords, an important decision. Pick the new path, plain and simple, is what I would say here with that Two of Swords. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Ten of Wands. It's funny, you had the Ten of Wands earlier, and I said you're about to put a burden down. Look, he's put the burden down. But he hasn't quite reached his home back here. So again, maybe you need to ask for help. Ten of Cups is a card of community. It can be a card of like people helping you, or it can be a card of people who want to assist you in being successful. But two tens, I actually like two tens together. It doesn't matter even what tens they are, because to me it can kind of represent like a new beginning, but a positive one. And we see that with the Fool. You can't make this stuff up. Seven of Pentacles. You had the Seven of Pentacles earlier. Clearly, I feel like you're changing direction, but like whatever your new beginning is going to be very, very positive. I also feel, for some of you, I'm wondering if with that warning card, if there have been too many warning signs in a situation, like a past situation, and that's why you're picking this new beginning. But I feel like you are going to be very happy with the new choice, plain and simple. But that's that, Virgo. Love it. So thank you for being here, Virgo. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.